Hey, fun. It's day 12. It's Monday. It's been a Monday. Um, uh, but that doesn't matter, does it? Um, I had an interesting idea. I don't know how entertaining this is to you. I don't know how entertaining it needs to be. But there's a picture of me from, I think, 1990 when I was about 20. And as an engagement picture that I never ended up getting married to this woman, young woman. But we had pictures taken and published in the papers and all this great shit. And it was a good story. Huh? But anyway, I've always thought my hair looked like Ted Danson and from Cheers. I watched that show quite a bit in the 80s and 90s. And anyway, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting if I, Johnny, 54-year-old Johnny, who's just been released from a lot of anguish and pain and living a really free and awesome life now, thank God. If this Johnny can go back in time, how many years is that? 33 years? And sit down with young Ted Danson Johnny, I do believe there's a resemblance. Not in the face, but the hair. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a little fun time with Johnny talking to Ted Danson Johnny. And today was kind of a sad day where there's a relationship that's having some major issues in my life, and there's some major changes going on with it, and it can be upsetting for most people in this situation, and it certainly is to me to some degree for sure. I'm taking it so much better than I thought I ever could. I thought my life would be over when this relationship ended, and it's just beginning. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I wanted to talk to young Ted Danson Johnny about relationships. So Johnny, Ted Danson Johnny, I'll just call you Teddy. No, Ted Danson Johnny. Young Johnny, young John, because they all called you John. You really want to find somebody to love and marry. I can totally understand that. You think that you're not complete unless you're with someone else who's in love with you and wants to spend their life with you. I totally get that. Your family life wasn't everything you wanted it to be, even though it was pretty damn good. There were some parts that were missing, and you were looking to fill those, and I totally get that. And I see exactly the path that you followed. And it's clear to me that that was painful. And the reason why it was painful is because I don't believe that you, I think that you needed to just be okay with being you and being by yourself and loving yourself first. And then when you were complete like that, then it's time to look for someone to share. It seemed like you were desperately searching for year after year, going through relationship after relationship, looking for the right one. I must find the right one. I must marry and have a family and start a good family. That's really not the best path, my friend. I think maybe better if you just love yourself more, build yourself up. There's a lot of value in self-love, and telling yourself that I did a great job today. I rocked that interview. I rocked that runway walk. I rocked that talk at the cafe with that young man that I just met. Talk yourself up. You are great at a lot of things, and you need to give yourself a lot more credit and stop giving yourself such a hard time. So don't find it in others. Find it in yourself first. That's my advice to young John. All right, Ted Danson. Johnny Ted Danson. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Maybe it's insightful. That was my life when I was 20. I got engaged to a young woman that I should have never asked to marry me. I broke her heart, and it was a terrible situation. In fact, I didn't even want to, I knew I didn't want to marry her when I asked her, when I was on my knee. Isn't that wild? I knew she was the wrong person for me. And yet I was going through, I had to go through that I needed to get a good family together for myself, because I didn't really love the family life that I had. There was something lacking emotionally, which, I mean, my family recognizes that. That's not, we're Germans. So, you know, comes with the sausage and such. Anyway, that kind of sucked for her and for us, or for me and everybody involved. And ultimately the reason I went out with this girl is because she reminded me of somebody else I had fallen in love with, my first love when I was a freshman in college, who completely crushed my heart. And I didn't recover from that for years, and that's when I saw my first counselor and faked a mental eval, because I was convinced I was depressed. So I'm like, I'll mark all the depressed check boxes, and oh, sure enough, I'll get some meds. And then went the whole, I mean, that was when I was 20. Here I am, 54. I spent 32 years off and on and off of antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills over the last 5 or so years, and nothing really worked. Just a little dent here, a little dent there, and but anyway, I see it so clearly now. What is at the root at some of the dysfunction that traveled with me throughout my relationships with women, from the time that I was, 16 probably, all the way to today. Well, I guess, I mean, whoever I meet now, it's just no big deal. There's no pretense. I mean, I'm not looking to date or whatever. I'm just talking about people I meet. But it's so different right now. I'm so free. I feel so confident. I can chat it up with anybody. It's no big deal. I don't care if I'm judged. I don't care. I have an open heart. I try to lead with that, and I don't know, things are pretty darn good right now. Anyway, it's a long one. I apologize. almost 8 minutes. So, day 12, a dozen days. I do need to figure out a name for this podcast, or this vlog podcast. So, I'm not sure if it's going to be Johnny Ted Danson, or Ted Johnny Danson, Dance Johnny Dance. I'll take your comments. We'll see you later.